Mr. President of Parliamentary Assembly, Mr. Secretary General, Honorable Presidents of Parliaments, Madam Secretary General of the Parliamentary Assembly, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to speak to my fellow presidents of European parliaments in this house of democracy. The theme of our first panel, Defending Democracy, sums up what Ukraine is doing today. I am proud that despite the heavy cost and terrible losses, the Ukrainian people stand strong in defending democracy. They are defending European democracy. They are defending global democracy. The result of this fighting will shape not just Ukraine's future, but the future of democracy itself. Let me be clear. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what we face, we will never stop. We will not stop fighting for our freedom and independence, for democracy and development, for the future of our children. In this fight, Ukraine and Ukrainians continue to count on the firm support of our partners and friends. I want to thank each of you, dear representatives of great nations, for all the help you have given and continue to give Ukraine in these difficult times. We will never forget what you have done for us when millions of Ukrainians had to seek refuge in your countries, when we had no weapons to defend ourselves, when quick and bold action was needed to stop the aggressor. We will always be grateful for your support, which has helped us stay strong. I bow to you in gratitude and offer my sincere applause, dear friends, to your peoples, your leaders, your nations, your parliaments, and your governments. Dear friends, I have come to Strasbourg to ask for your continued support. Ukraine needs you now more than ever. Our resources are not endless. The aggressors keep attacking. At the same time, we talk with our overseas partners about how to bring real and lasting peace. The peace Ukraine and its people deserve. I ask you to use your connection in Washington to share the truth about Ukraine. The world must see the scale of our suffering, this destruction we endure, and the clear line between the victim and aggressor. In our fight for freedom and independence, we count on strong support of the American people, their bipartisan backing in the US Congress and the leadership of President Donald Trump. We believe in peace through strength, and that strength must force the aggressor to stop the war. For us, the United States will always be Ukraine's key partners and trusted ally. Just as we rely on US, we also trust in Europe's unity and strength. Ukraine is a part of Europe, our shared home. We are not just neighbor, but a country that has been a member of Council Europe since 1995 and is now a candidate for European Union membership. We are the Europeans who have chosen a free and united future. We are your brother and sister who refuse to be dragged back into the darkness of tyranny, where freedom, justice, and democracy have ever existed. We believe that Europe will not only stand by its future member, but will also show leadership, unity, and strength in defending itself against Russian aggression. Dear colleagues, we have high hopes for the Council of Europe and its Parliamentary Assembly. For this high podium, I again thank you for your unwavering support of Ukraine. The Council of Europe made history when it became the first and remained the only international union expel Russia. This sent a clear message: aggression will not be tolerated, and breaking international law will have consequences. The Council of Europe must keep leading the efforts to hold the aggressor accountable. This is where key steps for justice and compensation have begun. The creation of registry of damage was a big step, as is the work on setting of the special tribunal for the crime of aggression and the compensation commission. But we must move faster to set up the compensation fund and complete the full compensation mechanism. Justice delayed is justice denied. We must join the issue, and Putin must pay himself the bill for the war he started. Not European, not US taxpayer, but just he himself. I truly hope that the EU leaders summit that is taking place in Brussels these days will take important decisions. Firstly, that the crimes committed by Russian troops, their commanders and leaders will not go unpunished. Secondly, that the special tribunal will be finally established. Pressure must increase until peace is secured. Sanctions must stay in place and be made even stronger. Ukrainians want peace more than anyone more. We do not seek endless war. We want peace, but not at any cost. Our goal is not just to stop the fighting, but to achieve real, lasting peace that secure Ukraine's sovereignty and future in Europe and NATO. We demand full respect for Ukraine's border as recognized by international law. We will never accept Russian control over the occupied lands. We will never allow our armed forces to be weakened. And we will never give up our rights to choose our own allies. Ukraine needs real security guarantees, not empty promises, not just words on the papers. We need firm international commitments. That is why NATO membership is the best way to secure Ukraine. Russia must not be allowed to decide Ukraine's future in NATO. As President Volodymyr Zelensky said in Munich, right now, the most influential member of NATO seems to be Putin, because he whims have the power to block NATO decisions. Similarly, Putin cannot define or block any strong and decisive European steps that help Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've spoken about Ukrainian struggle, but also about the safety of Europe and the world. No one is truly safe. Russia will not stop unless it meets firm resistance, unless it sees our unity and strength. I do not need it to convince you. Ukraine's bitter experience with Russia speaks for itself. But I ask you to share the truth with those who still doubt, with those who still believe that the lies that Russia keeps telling, with those who hold the power to shape global security. Dear friends, I warmly recall every meeting that we have held. I remember your tears of compassion. I remember your silent and sad face in Bucha. I remember your sincere words. What else can we do for you? I remember each of your decisive action. I remember joint press conference in Odessa in bomb shelter under Russian missiles attack. I remember our joint visit to our war heroes in hospitals. I remember. But above all, I cherish in my memories that very fast breath you take before asking me, how are you guys? Every time it was a breath of hope, breath of faith, and breath of true compassion. Compassion for Ukraine, compassion for Ukrainian people, for Ukrainian future. Dear friends, I want to thank you for this very first breath. Thank you. Glory to Ukraine, glory to Europe.